Kabir Khan, welcome to NDTV.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kabir, just a few days to go.
Yes.
Is it a great time for filmmaker to sit and chat with journalists, or you just want to be home and just be alone?
No, I think it's good that we're sitting and chatting because
Right.
if you're left alone, then you start getting all kinds of thoughts in your mind. So I think it's good to be busy all the way to the release.
Right. Kabir, I want to ask you, for the viewers of NDTV, what is it about Salman's stardom? Everything that he does well. All his past films recent past films have done well. Have you, as a filmmaker, understood what this stardom is all about, or have you and Salman had a conversation about it?
Honestly, I think it's impossible to understand. I mean, why he's such a phenomenon. I don't think Salman himself understands. I've often sort of jokingly asked him that, and he said, "Jab tak chal raha hai, chalne de." So I think it is one of those inexplicable things. What we keep talking about as X factor. I think that really comes into place with most superstars. If you break them down, you cannot really analyze to why they're working, but there's something about their persona, their charisma that comes together on screen that people just find.
Right. The way you said you came to Bombay to make that one film, and now look at you where you are working with the who's who, working with the biggest star, making the film that the country is waiting to watch. Do you go back in times like those and think of those days when budgets were limited as a documentary?
Absolutely. I think, so the reason why I actually made the shift from documentaries to features is not really a function of the budget, but it's a function of the fact that I was a little frustrated by the lack of reach of documentaries. The fact is that we were making documentaries, they're not really established platforms in India where you can watch documentaries. So I felt a little frustrated as a communicator that I was not really communicating with my audience. And that's why I decided to make films on mainstream cinema, which is the most powerful medium in this country. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm really fortunate that I managed to do the kind of stories that I've always wanted to do, work with the actors I've wanted to work, and more importantly, narrate the stories that for me are important.
Right. Kabir, from anyone's observation, but what I have observed is your film will always have a message, a political newsy tone, a backdrop. Is it because you are a news junkie yourself? You watch enough news? Is that why that comes into play?
I think so. I think that is something that is ingrained in me because since childhood, my father was a founding professor of JNU. He was also nominated to he was a member of parliament. So, sort of news, politics was dining room conversation at our home. His colleagues, fellow professors, fellow parliamentarians, they would all talk news, talk politics. So I think my radar for news was always there, and even later in life when I started doing documentaries and associated with journalists like Saeed Naqvi, I started understanding how news, how political events around the world in our country start affecting us, and that is something I always try and bring into my film because I think it's very important to realize that things happening in the world around us have a direct effect on us, and that's why my films always have that real context.
You and Salman, in times like these, I have to say, you all speak your mind. Whatever the repercussions are, that day Salman said there should be no war, that became an issue. You take to Twitter, and are these times where you think before tweeting, or you are someone who, if you don't believe in something or you believe in something, you will put it forward?
I think it's very important to put forward your point. I don't think you should hold back and try, because this is exactly what, if there are people in our society today who unfortunately are trying to push down anybody with a counterpoint by abusing, trolling, screaming, shouting, and if we stop because of that, then they are winning. The point is that we have to fight back by being able to put forth our point as strongly as possible. Of course, I'm saying there has to be a civilized level of debate. Unfortunately, that's gone out of the window, especially with a lot of news channels, the way the debates are conducted. It's unbelievable that, no point is ever debated properly, intellectually, with certain points. Everything is about screaming, shouting, and pushing the other person down. So I think it's very important in these times to put forward your point forcefully.
Right. But I'm glad you told me you watch NDTV.
Yes, I do. NDTV is a channel which I really do feel has still maintained a certain level of civility in which the way the debates are conducted, and that's a channel I definitely watch.
Great, good to hear that. Before we go, a lot of people were asking on our Facebook live chat that will Kabir Khan work with someone else, or it will always be you and Salman, because you all are a successful pair, and why not go on and on?
No, I think it's all a question of script. If I take a script to Salman that he doesn't like, he will not work with me. That's a given. We're not going to just work together because we've had successful films. So if there's a script that I think is exciting for me, and it might be exciting for, say, a Shah Rukh or an Amir or a Ranveer or a Akshay, I would love to work with them. Why not? These are great actors, and it'd be great to collaborate with them also.
Great. Right now, let's keep the focus to Tubelight. So best of luck for Tubelight. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks.